Welcome back, everyone. Michael here with Offshore Citizen. Today I'm going to discuss with you a topic that might be interesting to some people. It's something that people don't really talk about, but is kind of a hack out there for those of you who are interested in staying living in your high-tax country, but potentially paying little to no tax. And it doesn't work for everybody. It doesn't work in every country. It doesn't work in every circumstance. But that being said, it's something that I feel more people could take advantage of and more people don't. And so today I'm going to dive into that with you and see if it's, something that you would consider do. It's probably not like the most advisable thing in the world, but hey, it's kind of just a fun thought experiment and certainly something that some people in the world have done. So why not? Let's talk about it. Okay, before we do that, if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Really appreciate your subscription. If you'd like help with international tax optimization, setting up bank accounts, opening companies, asset protection, residency programs, citizenships, figuring out the best strategy for you and implementing it, please reach out to me. You can book a call, calendly.com/Michael-Rosmer, link in the description below, or send a message through our websites, offshorecitizen.net or offshorecapitalist.com. Okay, so what is this strategy? Pretty simple. This strategy is to get somebody else to do it for you. So what do I mean by this? Well, let's imagine a scenario. Let's say that you're living in a high-tax country, okay? You want to keep living in the high-tax country. Sounds great, You like your lifestyle there, you like whatever. You're happy to make a reasonable amount of money. You don't need to make a huge amount of money, right? But your company starts making quite a lot. Maybe your investments are going to make quite a lot, and you'd like to be able to shelter them from tax, right? What could you do about that? Well, one thing you can do is, of course, you can move away. We talk a lot about that, where to move and things like this. But something that I don't think enough people consider is the possibility that they could get somebody else to move away for them, okay? So how would this work? Well, imagine that you have, for example, a sibling who is in a situation where they're not making that much money, right? And you'd like to help them out, and they're more indifferent than you about where they are. You could potentially pay them to be the one who goes abroad and lives outside the country basically on your behalf, right? They basically are going to, depending on the circumstances, they may just have to be the one who is involved in the company, and so maybe there's somebody you can trust because they're a family member, etc. But on another note, maybe they're in a situation where they're going to end up owning the assets. Who knows, right? But essentially, you can have a family operation, and this gives you a lot of advantages because transfers between family members are often tax-free. They make sense as gifts, etc. And so potentially, by doing that, you can end up in a great situation for them and for you. Now, if you don't have a situation with a family member, there are other situations where you could have somebody else do it for you, and that's also an interesting opportunity, right? Now, of course, it doesn't really make sense to have just some random stranger gift you money or something, but you could easily set it up such that there is some circumstance under which you make somebody else's life better, you sponsor them, you help them to go and become successful, and they go overseas, and as a result, they're able to kind of carry out, act doing the things that you would normally like to do overseas, allowing you to remain in your home country and benefiting accordingly. So that's pretty much the strategy is, we talk sometimes about trusts, we talk about other different structures. Well, this is a way that you could potentially have people who you trust, who aren't necessarily a trustee in the traditional sense or something like that, go and do this. And, just depending on the circumstances, again, some countries you're not going to be able to gift, some countries you can. In some cases, it's pretty straightforward that they can gift back to you. In some cases, it's not. In some cases, they'll need to own things. In some cases, they won't. But the bottom line is, if you want to help out, say, a family member anyway, then this is a really great way to go. And if you want to help out somebody else anyway, maybe you've developed an affinity for somebody, etc., this is also an interesting way to go. So anyway, that's the basic concept. I hope you find it interesting. If you have questions about it, you'd have to reach out to us and we can discuss it. Like I said, it's not for everybody. In fact, it's not for most people. But it is interesting to think of from the standpoint of just being more resourceful around your problem solving and realizing, hey, listen, you know what, maybe there's some other angles that I can go here that might be helpful for me. So I hope that helps. If you're interested in more of these things, like I said, reach out, hit the subscribe button, and I'm going to look forward to seeing you guys on the next video.